Hi, my name's Bruce McAllister. Not that means anything, but if it does, you can find out more about me on brucemcallister.com. That's McAllister with one L, because we couldn't afford two, we were very poor. You might find it interesting, and I'm not trying to sell you anything on my website, so go for it. brucemcallister.com, just in case you didn't hear me the first time. Okay, I want to talk about being elderly today. This is something that's not covered enough. You have not enough understanding of what elderly people go through. I do. I'm 76. Yeah, I know. I only look 75, and thank you for that. But this is an average day for an elderly person. You wake up, if you're lucky, or unlucky, depending on how you feel. You think, oh my God, I made it through the night. Oh well, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. After I die, I'll come back and tell you. Maybe. Anyway, having woken up, I then swing my legs over the side of the bed, very slowly, of course, in case they fall off, and stand up, equally slowly and carefully, for obvious reasons, because flat on my face on the carpet is not a good alternative. I then hobble off to the toilet on feet that I haven't seen for a decade or two. Then I'm going to have my morning pee. This is another thing. I've got to aim into the bowl, pointing something else I haven't seen for a decade or two. Now, my wife tells me I've still got something there. I take her word for it, I don't know. Having done that, you get dressed very carefully. Sartorial elegance is not an option. You don't care. If it fits, you wear it. If it doesn't go with the other clothes you're wearing, who gives rats ass? You're old. You get away with murder. Seriously. Then you're going to have breakfast. And your wife says, what would you like for breakfast, darling? Oh, whatever, sweetheart, no problem. What the hell? I have trouble remembering my name. I don't know what food I like. Anyway, it all tastes like boiled cabbage or boiled newspapers anyway, so it doesn't matter. Then, going back to the days when I was working part-time, driving to work. Now, I think I'm a careful driver, but all these young hoons behind me, tooting the horn and swearing and carrying on, I don't understand them. They go past and they're swearing and waving and shaking their fists. I wave back at them and they get angry because, I've got arthritis and I can't bend that finger. Sorry, yeah. Anyway, getting to work, and it's a hardware store. Now, apart from other things, I'm a qualified electrician. I've also got an MBA with a marketing, major. So they put me in the electrical department, strangely enough. And people come up to me and ask me all these questions, like, what size wire do I need to put in a PowerPoint? My answer, are you going to do it yourself? Yes. My answer, don't. You'll kill yourself or your family. Up to you, your choice. And then you'll get some, and I'm not going to mention the nationality. There's two nationalities in particularly. They start with V and I, and I'm not going to go any further than that, but they'll go and buy bell wire. This is a very thin wire that you use for putting in doorbells. And I say, well, what are you going to do with that? And they say, I'm going to put in another PowerPoint. And I think to myself, well, do you really want to wake up with crispy kids? Do you know what you're doing? Absolutely not. Doesn't matter though. And there's another mob, by the way, this has nothing to do with electrical, who buy garden hose to run gas lines. Good luck with that. Anyway, the silliest ones are when people come up to you and they see the name tag on your apron and it says Bruce, and underneath it's got qualified electrician. And they start asking me questions about how to wire houses. And it goes back as far as, which toilet should I buy? And my answer is obviously, one that's connected. That will always work better than one that's not. Stupid damn questions. And they say, which is the better one to buy? I don't know. How much does it cost? Whatever it says on the ticket. Can I get it any cheaper? I don't know, not from me. Why don't you know? Hey, look, I've got a tag on my apron with my name. Why do you think that is? Because I can't remember it. What chance I've got of remembering the stupid questions you're asking me? I can't do that. Anyway, getting back to being old, it has its compensations. For example, if I go to a supermarket, now I love a bit of a stir. If I go to a supermarket, I'll often undo the zip on my jeans and pull out the tail of my shirt. I guarantee that will get attention. Nobody will say anything, but they'll all stare. And if you have a really crowded aisle full of women with prams and shopping trolleys that think it's a meeting place, you have trouble getting past, what you do, if you can fart in public on demand, which I can, do it. Otherwise, just stare at people and talk to yourself. They'll clear the way. It's a wonderful thing to do. Here's a little true story. At one time in Woolworths, if you're not Australian, it's a big supermarket type thing, and I was the delicatessen counter, and the counter's full. It was a fair bit of a wait, lots of people. Now, if I'm wearing jeans, I use suspenders to hold the jeans up for physical reasons. But I also put a belt on because I think jeans look stupid without a belt. So there I am with the suspenders and a belt. On this particular day, this woman, probably in her late 50s or early 60s, and her girlfriend of the same age, came up and she said, "I have to ask you a question." I said, "Yes." And she said, "Why do you wear a suspenders and a belt? Isn't that a bit silly?" And the whole group of people in the delicatessen just went quiet. Because she said it just loud enough for everybody to hear. It stunned me a little bit. And then I noticed she had these great big bloody old tits. And I said to her, "Well, why do you wear a bra? I mean, you could tuck those into your pantyhose." Now at that point, all the guys started laughing. A couple even started clapping. And she got really angry. And she said, "I'm going to go and talk to the manager." And I had to say, "Well, are you going to ask him if he wears suspenders and a belt as well?" Anyway, she stormed off. Meanwhile, my wife, who's Vietnamese, she's not a child bride. Well, she is a child bride. I'm 76, she's 67 there. Didn't quite get what had happened. And then about 10 minutes later into our shopping, she finally got it. And she started giggling. And everybody stared at her for the next 20 minutes because she couldn't stop. Now that was funnier than what happened with me. But see, there's the good things about being old. All this stupid stuff happens. It's wonderful. Then you get home at night. And it's the reverse of what happened in the morning. You have a pee, you try to hit the pot. You take your clothes off, you hobble off to bed. You hop into bed, hoping that you make it through the night, or not hoping you make it through the night, depending on how you feel after the day. And then rinse, wash, do it again tomorrow. So there you go. Don't be scared of getting old. It's a whole heap of fun at times.